So yeah,
We back again.
after the seventh video, I'm a little you digged. You feel me?
And y'all just wouldn't know what time it is right now, boy.
So yeah, what time is it?
It is
Goddamn it.
9:36.
9:36. I'm trying to get this shit done for the kids up. So I didn't even know this was a fucking whole little documentary. I guess I don't even know, but
Shout out to Dora.
shout out. Did Dora subscribe
Dora
this?
got two videos of
You put Dora on the list twice.
Yeah.
Damn, Dora. You got two and one.
Damn.
Dizzy. That was crazy. But look, I always say R.I.P. Dizza and R.I.P. Vizon. I fucks with them niggas, you know what I'm saying? So whatever this is, it's gotta be some. This ain't no music video, that's for sure. So we gonna get right into that shit. You feel? See what they talking about, you know? Hopefully
with his storytelling and music videos, but for the life.
Let's bag it all the way up. Shout out to Trap Geek, cause I guess he the one that performed the whole little shit on it. So let's get it. 20 seconds of it, yeah, okay. Alright.
Back to that breaking news live from Chopper to a mass shooting. At least 6 people shot. This all happening at 65th and King Drive in Parkway Gardens.
The age ranges of those people ranging from 14 to 23 years old.
If they from here, don't come here, please don't.
His name is Davon Bennett, a.k.a. King Von. He's been on the street for too long. I want him off the street today. You guys ready?
Y'all heard that nigga. You ain't from here. Don't come here.
And they're saying like the police hated, they was hating on Vaughn. They said they want that nigga off the streets
Shit crazy.
today. These niggas crazy.
Alright, so probably the person that I get the most requests to do a video on, and the rapper I've been rocking with for a while now is King Von. No doubt the most demonic figure that's come out of Chicago since the drill music wave in the 2010s. Fans are really enamored with his storytelling and music videos, but for the life of me, I don't know how King Von is a free man. I mean, bless him, all blessings to him. He's somehow been able to 2C slide and dodge every single case that's been thrown at him since he was 15.
I saw that nigga mug shots. It's like that nigga had school picture mug shots. This nigga grew up. You know how your mama take pictures of you every year you grow up? This nigga had a mug shot, like back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, cause from what he was locked up, goddamn it, shit. From a
crazy.
juvie, he was busting niggas. Hey, he was putting niggas in the slab, nigga. He was on. He beat the murders, from what I understand, but he was on trial for them bitches at an early age. You know what
It
I'm saying?
shows. That nigga
So,
got school picture shots.
him and Zoo, they beat the murder, goddamn it, and that's how they got all their fame. You know what I'm saying? They probably did that shit. You know what I'm saying? But these the bodies that he rap about that he beat, but he got that he really did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It was just circumstances. You know what I'm saying? He played his cards right, which is an assassin would always play his cards right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm whatever. I'm gonna be a lame nigga, whatever, nigga. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's how he feel. So that's how he portrayed the game, and that's what sold his records. If he was like that in real life, we only know that because he was already on trial for a body. Like, I was a real street nigga because I went to prison for selling weed and dope and cocaine. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit and slanging guns and all that shit. You feel me? I got my mama crib raided for all that shit. You feel me? And then I later went to prison for fucking, you know what I'm saying, getting caught on some lucky shit. You feel me? They was lucky. Somebody probably hated, or just the police was just outed for me because I had moved to this little white village. Like I said, like she said, if you want the story, man, you can find that shit. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but.
We gonna put that shit on Amazon. That's what the fuck. We finna make money off this shit, cause your ass, boy.
Nigga, the story's so cold,
nigga.
nigga. Nigga, hey, you know I ain't bullshit, nigga. Hey, nigga, trust me, nigga. The story's so cold, nigga. I'm gonna get a whole run. I might do a whole book on betrayal. The name of the book is probably gonna be SHT shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'll explain to you what's that about later in life. But whatever, if you want to know.
And while his partner Rondo was toting a bazooka on the gram, King Von was on Twitter arguing with a mortal enemy over how many bodies they each got. And this was trolling the fuck out of the police, right? They couldn't stand it. See, in Chicago, only 20% of murders ever get proven, 80% go unsolved.
20 years for the murders, plus the gun has been lost, that's 21 years. So that's 41 years, that's just for the murder. Now I got 2 attempt murders.
And you beat all those charges. You were acquitted.
Yep.
So a body in Chicago is gonna get you life. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get 20 years. And depending on your role in the body is how they judge it. It's up to, you know what I'm saying, maximum of life. But 25 is life. You feel me? So he got convicted as a shorty, so they gave him life. As a juvenile, you gotta understand. So at 19, he get to come out and be him again. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with all the bodies, that's the blessing of being a juvenile and catching bodies like this. This is what the older niggas was doing to the younger niggas, but then the younger niggas got that brain. They was already smart, but they got even smarter, like, and calculated with the older nigga influence. What it did was change their mindset to, instead of goblin, we a gremlin now. And the difference between a goblin and a gremlin is a goblin eats everything. A gremlin chooses his prey. And the reason why he's a gremlin now is because of this motherfucking, he done got all these bodies. He done beat them by the white man. So look at it like this. The white man then told you that your bodies that you then did, you not guilty of, nigga. And you know you did them. And you just knew you was gonna get locked up. You didn't know you was smart enough to make this move. You didn't know this camera didn't catch this good angle of you. You didn't know that. Every dreadhead nigga in Chicago looked the same from the back. So you can't just put that on a nigga if you caught him from the back. You gotta get that clear image. If you don't have that, if you don't have them motherfucking witnesses doing that, you see what I'm talking about?
And Chicago cameras do not have that.
Hell no. And the witnesses is not talking shit when they know they gotta walk outside every day.
So you can forget it.
And that gang is outside slanging that shit on they shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing being talked about. You feel me? The gangbangers ain't around when they walking through the stairwells. But you best believe the presence of the gang member is felt throughout the whole conversation. And I know that's enough. I'm sorry for talking so much, but I had to get you to understand that.
Now, we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, let me show you my song of the day. This is Mark Battles. Let's go.
Ain't been happy in a while. I be staring in the mirror trying to force myself to smile. Can't keep blaming everybody. People do what you allow. And don't ask me.
Did this nigga just pop a promo in? Nigga, you don't get to do no promo on my page, you mark ass buster. Funny ass nigga, man. Is this part of this shit? Nigga, stop playing with me, little clown ass nigga. Whoever the trap geek, you goofy fuck.
In order to understand this story, we gotta go to Chicago, more specifically the Parkway Gardens in the South Side, but you probably know it as O-Block. Now, not only is this the home of Chief Keef and King Von, it's also the home of the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, who, when she looks back at her experience, says it was never as bad as it is now. The area has always been a huge war between two factions, the BDs and the GDs, and this war has been going back since at least the 90s. But back then there was more structure, it was organized, and it was mostly a battle over drug trade. The BDs controlled a massive 16-story housing complex just 2 minutes.
Wherever he getting his info from, I can't say he is on point. He is on target. So I have nothing against you, Trap Geek, besides you just retarded.
Away from O-Block, posting snipers on the roof to protect their drug dealers. Lookouts were equipped with night vision goggles, and the entire organization was pulling in $300,000 a day for damn near 15 years.
Now what he talking about is them BD twins. You know what I'm saying? It was two BD twins. I ain't gonna say their name because this ain't no trick show. But them two BD twins, man, they was out there getting that bread. They got caught up for what they was doing. They was riding around with Rolls Royces, street niggas. living like rappers. You feel me? Like, they was doing it for real, Cuddy. Like, no bullshit. They was BDs, two brothers, busting it down. Yes, getting it in.
The BDs were run like a corporation. Money was laundered through investments into apartment buildings, a record label called MOB, a car wash, and a nightclub in Atlanta. But the leadership was taken out in 2004 with a massive police raid. Their headquarters was permanently closed and eventually demolished. 50 people were charged. Whole leadership gone. All the BDs migrated to O Block and created alliances with the sets.
Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you. One of them niggas is Durkee Daddy. But we ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? One of them niggas is Durkee Daddy. The Durkee Daddy is locked up. Big time kingpin. Look it up. One of them niggas is Durkee Daddy. That's why you see Durkee at the head of the OTF. They switched that name and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that know.
Around the area to go against their rival gang, the GDs. Now the GDs, which stands for Gangster Disciples, also had their leadership taken down. And now neither of the two gangs have any structure anymore coming from the top to the bottom. It's basically just kids running around with a profound hatred for each other, trying to blow each other's heads off. And this shit escalated even further in the 2010s with Chief Keef and the rise of drill music. Chief Keef, Rondo, Lil Reese, Lil Durk, and most of the people who saw success during the height of the drill scene were all black disciples. The Gangster Disciples had very little representation in mainstream music. Their most notable figures were FBG Duck, Lil J, Lil Jojo, so the fact that Chief Keef and O Block were able to control the airwaves and the popular sound made it so they could put super disrespectful lyrics towards the Gangster Disciples in their songs, and it would become mainstream. The best example is Tuka.
Tuka's death became the focal point for a lot of violence because the gang members that killed Tuka then used social media.
See, what you gotta understand is, like, the 2000 babies took niggas down, like, with real disrespect, like that shit. The way them niggas, like the way they took to their friends, it wasn't like niggas in the 90s and the 80s. Well, I can't even say the 90s because early 90s, like 93 and back. But niggas from the 80s, niggas, and 93 and back type shit. The friendship was always there, but we was always knowing to be independent. So we would say. But these niggas, these 2000 niggas, they knew to stick together. It was something built inside of them. Like, every generation got a piece of the code, right? But it's on the next generation to add that code into their code to make it a structured, legitimate code. Like, you see how the BDs turned it into music, car washes, other legitimate businesses off of the drug money, which paid the way for most businessmen today. Because a lot of niggas got their shit off of drugs and doing other illegitimate crimes and making money and investing it into legitimate businesses and making money for the future. I know you know that, but if you didn't, there you go, a little history.
Yeah, to really insult his memory.
In this case, you have this young man actually in his coffin, and this image has also been defiled.
See, Tuka was a deceased 15-year-old boy that Chief Keef and Durk would constantly mock in their songs. And the lyric became so popular, you had rappers like Lil Pump who had nothing to do with the situation. He's from Miami. You had Young M.A. who's from New York, and even NLE Choppa who's from Memphis. They would use Tuka.
All you bitch ass little niggas y'all should feel ashamed of your hoe ass self. Y'all some little hoes. Look at your little hoe ass, nigga. On my kids, nigga. You ain't no street nigga.
Not man of y'all fucking business.
You ain't been out here and had to deal with this shit, nigga. Stop playing with me. Boy, we'll rob you of your whole fucking future. Don't play with us like that, nigga.
In their songs or in everyday life without even knowing what it meant.
Now, you recently said some shit about Lil Pump.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the Smoking Tuka line?
To this day, he probably think that everything all groovy. But no, when I see you, I'm gonna slap you.
Young M.A. said it in her verse, and then she apologized for it.
And that's all I wanted.
See, the hatred between the GDs and the BDs ran so deep. The feud was so strong. You even got King Von on video teaching a little kid how to shoot a water gun while saying F Tuka.
Fuck Tuka.
Fuck Tuka. Fuck Tuka.
Shoot him in his head. Boom. Fuck Tuka.
See, once again, Von.
Come on now.
Once again, Von, I'm gonna catch you every fucking time. This is why you dead, nigga. It was meant. It's no way around it, Cuddy. Like, you know what I mean? You know that. You looking down like, man, this nigga speaking facts. Like, man, so I should have just been that soft-spoken nigga and shut the fuck up.
This would be the same.
We shouldn't have heard them whispers.
That you drop off at the daycare.
Yeah.
That I gotta fucking deal with all day if I was at work or something.
But what happened if the op, look, I keep my op exterminator. Look, this is the op exterminator, okay?
I'm talking about the kid.
No, what I'm saying is I keep the op exterminator. So if you pull up, nigga, and I see the op with his kids, nigga, and I'm in that mode, nigga, I'm gunning you and Shorty. I'm gunning that Shorty. I mean, I'm gunning at you. And the bullets ain't never got no name.
You know what?
We ain't thinking like, look, niggas ain't thinking like, look, back in the day, yeah, niggas was thinking like, man, I ain't killing no kids and no grandmas. But nigga, when you always using your kids and your grandma to move around, nigga, how else we gonna catch you, bitch? And that's real. How else we gonna catch you?
I wasn't even talking about that. But
Nah, yeah, you gotta dig deep in that wall.
I wasn't even going there.
Yeah, cause that's why
I'm
niggas.
talking about the fuck, just dealing with the little badass kid at the daycare, him being dropped off at school, fucking with other little kids because they didn't taught him this bullshit. That's all I was doing. You didn't dug 6 feet deep and took that shit.
Yeah, I had to dig that nigga up and think and get his brain cells and see what the fuck he was thinking.
Say it.
Now, the death of this kid, Tuka, spawned something that was never before seen. A 17-year-old female assassin named Jakira, who created a social media account dedicated to avenging his death.
She was known to her rivals as somebody who was willing.
Hey, she was a fucking assassin before he tell you. The little shorty was an assassin and they did her ass dirty. They stood over her and plugged her. They plugged her because...
But she knew, though.
Yeah, but they plugged her because they had to show that. They had to show that because she had killed so many of them niggas. So, she had did them niggas so... you know what I'm saying? It was... it was crazy. Them niggas that died so sweet. It was ridiculous, man. We can't speak on it, but hey, it was. You know what I'm saying?
To shoot first, ask questions later. It's all over the internet.
Jakira was on social media bragging about the shootings that she had done. She was proud, and she let everybody know. She was very quick to let you know that she was violent and that she was not afraid to shoot somebody.
It was said Jakira was responsible for at least 15 shootings before she herself was eventually killed. Afterwards, a 4chan user hacked her Twitter and leaked DMs showing her and King Von had this weird back and forth where King Von was attempting to romance her in like a mocking way. I don't know, maybe it was real, despite the fact that they were both rival gang members.
So look, that just show you how cold little King Von was. He was a chess player. Them niggas gotta play chess to be thinking like that. They gotta play chess. Like Chicago niggas play chess.
Right.
We play chess.
But like when y'all was saying in the comments, like he ain't had no beef with young boy. Like, how do we really know that if he talking to her like this? And that's how they talk.
Nigga, he killed all his beef. And it wasn't no beef in Chicago for him. It was over with. That's why he moved to another city. It was time to get it in Atlanta. And I know young boy ain't from there. But he got killed by a young boy artist. Young boy could have intervened and stopped it if they was really cool. And I know they ain't probably got no real beef like directly that we could prove and all that shit. But guess who taking credit for it, Cuddy? You know what I'm saying? The Bliggy gang, keep it real. Guess who taking credit for it?
And she didn't like dudes, she liked girls. But reading the tweets and listening to his interviews, you could tell King Von is a clever, smooth talker, right? He's smooth, but he's also a goddamn demon. A blood trail seems to follow him wherever he goes. And King Von was becoming an infamous figure in the Chicago PD briefing rooms. Oh, they hated him. Police would bring him in for an armed robbery charge, possession of an illegal firearm, and they had suspicions of other stuff that they could never prove. One murder of a kid named Modell, allegedly, according to the internet detectives on Reddit, has King Von's name written all over it. It happened on a Saturday night where 24 other people were wounded across Chicago, but that wouldn't stop King Von from boasting about Modell's death on Twitter all the time. Now finally, in 2014, the police thought they had something. Von and one of his friends were at a crowded house party when a rival GD named Malcolm Stuckey was in the corner, mean-mugging them. Von and them took offense, immediately left the party, came back 45 minutes later, shooting at the kid Stuckey, who was outside, along with 2 other people who tried to run. Stuckey was killed, the 2 others were wounded, and King Von and his friend were snatched up by police a couple days later. After 3.5 years, the trial finally started. It lasted a grand total of 5 days. Witnesses couldn't be located. Von.
So I want you to understand something. Shorty done sat in the correctional facility for 3 years fighting a body for this nigga that, of course, you know, he killed. And he beat it. It took 5 days. Imagine what that do to your mental when you get out. You know who you are? You know how I felt when I got out? I was like, when I went in, I said, look, I told my wife, I said, look, I was like, if they lock me up, baby, they just gonna make me worse. You know what I'm saying? Then I say that. And I swear to God, look, they locked me up.
His mouth shut for the whole 3 years while his friend confessed to doing the shooting. So, Von beat the case, went home, and his friend got 28 years. As soon as Von was out, the dude he was always arguing with on Twitter, named Wooski, who's a gangster disciple, and his mortal enemy, was attending a funeral at the Bethlehem Star Baptist Church when all of a sudden, an AK-47 pistol, aka a Draco, was whipped out and started spraying into the crowd. Dozens of shots rang off, and Wooski was shot. Now he survived, and King Von was not responsible for this, but that does not stop him from mocking him. His fans are diehards, right? They're crazy. They read into everything he posts, looking for clues. Like this man posted an
Nigga, Wooski was fucked up for like a year after that, nigga. I ain't even gonna lie. Wooski just came back. I ain't gonna front you. Wooski just came back. I seen him on a few lives, you know what I'm saying? I be rooting for them FBG niggas. But on a few lives, I seen that nigga, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. So I know he out there with the woo woo woo. You know, he with the woo woo woo.
The story just trying to promote his new music video, and people were reading into how many skulls he put in his caption, like 7 skulls. That's 7 bodies. King Von has 7 bodies. It even got to the point where King Von went live on Instagram himself and said, listen, if the internet was right about the bodies people had, they would be in jail. So don't believe what anyone says. I repeat, anyone. And I'll be honest, I hope that's true. Bless him. All I know is listen, in Chicago, the clubs close at like 12, right? It doesn't go past 12 because of the violence.
What'd you say?
I said Von's smart. His ass funny.
Why you think he's smart?
Period. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe nobody. Like, them 7 skulls, that shit means something. Don't nobody press that shit that many times. Either you dead, nigga. You dead, that's them bodies. Hey,
look, when you play chess, man, everything means something, okay? So if you ain't paying attention to how this shit really work, then you ain't gonna see how this shit really go. You feel me? So you got to motherfucking be in tune. Like your mind, you gotta go to a whole nother frequency. I dig deep. Wifey stay on the surface. You see what I'm saying? So we get both angles. But I dig deep in that ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know the inner workings of how this shit began. I want to know who put it in motion.
And I know that King Von can't go to Canada to do shows. He can't go to overseas to do shows. So it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because of his history, King Von creates this allure and this personality that people want to rock with his music, but also fucks up his business opportunities because he can't leave the country. That's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you want me to cover next? Make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's all we had? Damn, who asked for that shit? Who asked for this fucking punk ass document? Door. I ain't mad at you. I love you, baby girl. I love you, baby girl. I'm just saying, man. You know, it was cool. He gave a little facts. He did everything he spoke on was facts. So yeah, you got in terms of the video you prescribed for us. You was on point, baby girl. I appreciate you. Stay woke.
Peace.